Hello everyone and welcome to This Calls for Confetti's YouTube channel. This is Dawn Polly and I'm so glad you could join me. I'm back with some more Halloween cards for you. I'm going to be using the What Lies Within die set. I love this die set because it makes it so easy to make a spooky scenic background with, and I'll show you what I mean after. I'm going to pair it up with the Ghostly Greeting die set. This die set is pretty awesome. You get 3 different size ghosts along with their shadows, and then you get the Boo Sentiment along with 2 shadows. So let's get started. Today I thought I would try my hand at making some backgrounds using some ink sprays. My friend Nancy from the Handy Scandy is always making amazing backgrounds using all kinds of mediums, so I thought I'd give it a go. I have these ink sprays and I said, why not? I usually ink blend my backgrounds, but I wanted a different look for these cards. I'm using these Alt New ink sprays, but you can use whatever sprays you have. Now, if you've never used sprays before, I have 3 tips right off the bat. Tip number 1, make sure to shake your ink sprays extremely well because a lot of the color sits on the bottom of the bottle. Tip number 2, spray your cardstock inside some kind of a box so that you don't get spray all over the place. And tip number 3, if making 2 different colored backgrounds like I am here, do not spray them next to each other because spray will get on the other piece of cardstock. I thought I was taking a shortcut by not using my box and doing both of them at the same time. However, sometimes it just doesn't pay to take shortcuts. Now, if you've been watching what I'm doing, I keep spraying my paper and then I'm using my heat gun to dry it because I am impatient and I also want to see what my background will look like and if I need to add more color or not. If you're going to heat dry your cardstock, make sure to move the gun around and don't hold it in one place for too long. I think these backgrounds came out pretty awesome, and I'm glad I decided to break out my sprays instead of ink blending my backgrounds like I usually do. And that's how quick and easy it is to make a background with ink sprays. I went ahead and I die cut the What Lies Within die, the one with the windows die cut out of it from some black cardstock. And then I went ahead and die cut the other one with the solid house background from some white cardstock. And this is going to go behind the black one. I'm going to quickly ink blend some yellow Distress Oxide scattered straw onto the moon. And I'm just making some lighter and some darker spots on it. And then I'm going to color in the house with the yellow as well to make it look like the lights are on. Now you can use a yellow marker if you didn't want to ink blend. I just thought it was easier to ink blend with. Then I'm going to take my Distress Oxide Black Soot and I'm going to add some to the moon all around the edges just to give it a little bit more spooky feeling. I'm going to take the black frame and attach it on top of the white frame. I'm kind of offsetting it a little bit so that the frame underneath shows, and then I'm going to just set it aside for later. Next, I attach the black Boo sentiment to the white Boo shadow. And then I'm going to attach all of the black ghost shadows behind all of the white ghosts. You can make the shadows any color you want. I wanted the black though. I'm offsetting them just a little bit so you can see the black kind of off the side of the ghost so it looks more like a shadow on the ghost. For this frame, I'm just attaching the black frame on top of the white frame. I decided not to ink blend the moon or the house. I just chose to keep it a white background. And I did offset the white background though, so you can see it behind the black frame to give it a shadowing effect. And then once I finish this frame, I attach it to the purple background with some liquid glue. And then this card is just about done. I'm going to put the Boost sentiment with no shadow on it this time onto the middle of the card. And then that completes this background. Now let's do the shaker card. I have these This Calls for Confetti full front shaker acetate sheets. These acetate sheets are pretty awesome. They make making full front shaker cards so easy. They come with a protective plastic coating over it, which helps to prevent them from getting scratched. All you have to do is just peel it off like this, and it's so easy. I trimmed my background down to a little bit less than 4¼ by 5½. This will help the acetate to fold easier around the background. Then I have these Spooktacular Gaze Polymer Clay Confetti that I'm going to use. And I just going to dump some onto my background. I just love this confetti. I think it goes really nice to make a spooky background. And then I'm just going to dump all of my confetti onto the acetate. And then I'll turn my ink background upside down and place it on top of the confetti. I pulled up all of the release tape, and now I'm just going to press down all the edges of the acetate, and I'm going to use a bone folder to really press the edges down really good to make sure that they don't come up at all. And look at how nice this came out. This shaker card really turned out nice, I think. Next, I'm going to put a little bit of the black soot around all of the ghosts. I'm not putting any ink on the brush though. I'm just using whatever ink was already on the brush because I really don't want it to be dark at all. And I'm doing the same thing to the Boo Sentiment. I'm just adding a little bit of ink this time though, just because my brush kind of went a little bit dry, but I really don't want to put a lot on the sentiment at all. Just enough to kind of highlight the edges. Okay, let's assemble the card now. The first thing I want to do is adhere my ghosts onto the front of the card. And then I'm going to put the sentiment on top of the ghost. I didn't adhere the frame down yet because I want to cover the sentiment just a little bit with the tree from the house. So I'm just going to adhere the frame last. Once I have my ghost and sentiment down, then I adhere my frame onto the card, and I'm just going to hold it in place for a few seconds because I am adhering it to the acetate and I want to make sure that it adheres really well. And to finish off the card, I am adhering the entire card front to an A2 sized white card base. And then I'm just going to place my Misty on top of it. So to make sure that the shaker card adheres really good. And then I'm going to finish off the purple card by adhering it to a white A2 size card base also. And that's going to complete my cards for today. I think these cards came out super adorable. It was so much fun to make these inked up backgrounds using my ink sprays, and I encourage you to use yours if you have any. I want to thank you for joining me on This Calls for Confetti's YouTube channel. I would love for you to leave a comment below and let me know what you think of the cards. And be sure to subscribe to This Calls for Confetti's YouTube channel and hit the bell so you get notifications on when new content is added. And don't forget to subscribe to their other social media platforms and check out their website for all their new releases. I want to thank you for stopping by and spending your time with me, and have yourself a wonderful day.